Hey, YouTube. I don't think anyone's on yet, so I'll give it a second. Trying to get my tea right. There's my mom. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dolly. Hey, Microfarm. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Amy. Hey, Twin. So I don't expect many people to get on. This is just kind of random. Hey, Linda. I figured I want to start doing lives on my own sometimes, maybe during the day. Hey, Country Homestead Preacher. Zach is out right now. We have our soil being delivered, so he's out there showing them where to put it. And this is just something I've been wanting to do for a little bit, maybe on my own every now and then, and just talk to you all about certain topics, and just kind of get to chat. Hey, Brett. I was going to say, everyone's welcome. It might be Amy. Hey, Amy, if it is. But, kind of just girl chat, but anyone is welcome. Hi, Hesitant Homesteader. Hi, Anna. Hi, Natasha Snyder, Little Ranch Farm. Good morning. So I've got my tea going, and I've got a topic to talk about. Hopefully it'll be engaging and interesting. Zach is back already. Hey, Jennifer Jansen. How are you? Hey, Sarah. It's Brett. Brett said, look at all my friends here. All right. So there's Zach. How was the dirt?
It was good. Oh, what?
Oh, whoops. I already told him anyway. Whatever.
I'll tell you what. 1 of 2.
1 of 2. Was he nice?
Yeah, very
good.
He liked our homestead.
Did he? They said, hey, Zach. So anyways, each time will be a different topic. Just kind of what's been on my mind, or what I've been reading or doing. But, it may not be about homesteading, or it might just be about motherhood or whatever else. Dolly said, I got the notification that you were on. I'm lucky I was in the house. I wanted to plant and work soil, but the wind is blowing. Yeah. Ours was really bad yesterday. It finally calmed down after it stormed yesterday, so I think we're okay now. I need to do some planting too, but Raylan was cold. We went out in the greenhouse, but she was getting chilly, even though it wasn't cold, and she wanted to come back inside. So here we are. So I read a blog. It was called 5 Tips for Overcoming Motivation, and it's by Susan. She's the Confident Mom. She has her own blog. She has all kinds of topics, but I thought that one was really interesting. I don't know about y'all, but some days it's kind of hard to find motivation. Most days are fine, and Zach's here a lot. So when he's here, like, we hit the ground running and we get stuff done. But sometimes when he's at work and it's just me and Raylan, and we can't do everything on our own, like we can't do the building and stuff, sometimes we just don't have the best motivation. So I'm always looking for ways to change that and make that better. So if y'all have any comments or anything about how y'all find motivation, let me know. So her first tip was finding grace with yourself. And this has actually been kind of really important this week for us and for me. Sometimes I don't get everything done, and I don't get my whole list done. And I get really hard on myself. And at the end of the day, I think about all the things that I didn't get done, and it frustrates me, and it gets me aggravated because I know all that has to be added to the list tomorrow with all the stuff that already has to be done. And then something with Wyatt happened. He was on his Xbox, and he loves Fortnite. So he had a Fortnite update, and he accidentally deleted it in the process, and he absolutely broke down because he thought that he had lost everything and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, he was very upset with himself. He wasn't mad at anyone else but himself. He was angry and disappointed with himself. And I finally looked at him and I said, Wyatt, you've got to give yourself some grace. I said, this is just something unfortunate that happened, but you've got to give yourself some grace and don't be so angry with yourself. I said, you didn't know what you were doing. You clicked the wrong button and it was an accident. And luckily, all his stuff was still there. But when he went to bed that night, I told him again, I said, you remember what I said today about giving yourself grace? And he said, yeah. And I said, so you need to remember that, when you get upset with yourself or mad at yourself, when something doesn't go your way and you feel like it's your fault, I said, just give yourself some grace. And I think he soaked it in. So we'll see. I mean, he's 5, so I'm sure we'll have that talk many more times. But it kind of, and I was like, I need to apply that to myself sometimes. It's hard to tell your kids these lessons and stuff, but it's hard to remember it for yourself sometimes. So I'm trying to do that, and I'm trying to write that down and make sure that I do that for myself. Hi. Raylan's here. She had me on her tablet. She was recording me. I think she thinks she's on YouTube. She's funny. Okay, I want to read some comments. Let me scroll back up here. But let me know if that made any sense to y'all and if you are ever in the same situation. Hey, Jessica. You. Hey, the Pirate and the Lumberjack. Hey, Heritage Farms, Texas. Hey, Windmill. Hey, Aunt Patty. Micro Farms. And I'm here transplanting out cabbages and hanging out with you. That's fun. I have a lot of transplanting to do, but I will get to it. Hesitant Home Center said when it's warm, there will be plenty to do. Absolutely. I watched where y'all planted your seeds with all the kids. That looked really fun. Well, not all of them, but you know what I mean. Where you started them. Microfarm Kelly said, yeah, I agree. God gives us grace. Yes. We find a lot of motivation through the Bible and through other vlogs. It helps to just take some time alone, and it helps. I agree. Hey, Sugar Creek. Good morning. Patty said moms need to follow the same. It's hard to remember, but I try. Oh, bye, Windmill. Have a good day at work. Ray, everybody said hi. Thank you, Linda. Hey, Tableful in the Woods. Good to see you too this morning. So, yeah, that was the first one. Pirate and the Lumberjack said definitely in the same boat, finishing up spring break, and very few things checked off the list, but I reminded myself that I actually need the rest. It's been a rough school year. Yes, spring break is coming for us soon, too. Raylan's going outside. Hopefully Zach's out there. So the next point that she gave was to take action daily to help with motivation. And I completely agree with that, which kind of goes along with the first thing I was saying about how sometimes we get a little stale when Zach's not here. It's easier to do a lot more when he's here. Hi, Jackie. Good to see you too. So, and I try to do this too. Every morning when I wake up, I try to hit the ground running and try to start immediately doing things, because if I don't, it gets stale. Sometimes I want to sit down and enjoy my coffee, maybe a cup of coffee, but after that cup, I'm like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to get started on these chores. It's time to get outside and start doing what needs to be done out there, or house cleaning, whatever it may be. So after we take Wyatt to school every morning, I try to remind myself, as soon as I come in the door, get busy. Don't sit down, because if you sit down, first of all, you're going to get wrapped up into YouTube because I do. I love to watch everyone's channels. And if I start one, it just rolls on and on and on into the next ones. And then before I know it, it's 12 o'clock and all I've done today is watch YouTube. So while I do love watching everyone's channels, I try to not even start that. I have a few that I do every morning, like to keep up with, a few that relate to us and what we do. And I like to stay up to date on what they're doing and some of our good friends. But after that, I try not to get into the loophole of YouTube and just start spiraling out of control. So I will let myself watch whichever ones that I need to. I let myself reply to the comments on our own videos, make sure I, thumbs up everything and give it a comment back if I can. And then we get ready. We just go. We try to stay busy. We give the chickens what they need, the ducks what they need, all the animals, we get them taken care of. I try to clean house every day. I don't deep clean every day, but I pick up and, make sure the dishes are done and stuff like that. And then after that, it's just, I try to spend a little time playing with Raylan, doing whatever she wants to do. If I need planning done, then most of the time I just let her do that with me. And that kind of doubles as playtime because she loves to do that. And then by the time we know it, it's time to go get quiet. And then we have the evening routine, and then everything starts all over again. But some days it's not like that. Some days we just kind of sit and don't get much done. And those are the days that are frustrating. So I think that was a very good point for her, was to take action, sure that you go ahead and get yourself into that routine every day. Don't get stale. And the more you move, the more you're going to keep moving. I've found that if I have a lot of things to do and I'm doing them, then I won't find myself sitting down and getting bored and then whatever else. The more you move, the more it will keep going. If you sit down, for me, it's over. So I thought that was a very good point that she made. And for everyone that didn't hear, this list is not me. I did not make this list. It was a blog. It's called 5 Tips for Overcoming Motivation by Susan, the Confident Mom. So she has a lot of articles and stuff, and I found this one really interesting. I find that if I take some time in my prayer, then I get my day going. I seem to get a lot more done that day. Absolutely. I was telling someone the other day that I would really love to add in a meditation yoga routine every morning. I think that would get the day off right, but I'm not totally sure where I would fit that in. But if you want to make time for something, I guess you make it happen. So I need to sit down and get that going. I've done it before, and it absolutely made a difference in the day. But then you just get off track and forget about it. Twin Cedar said, I think when we have a homestead, we feel we have to keep going and we don't take time for ourselves. Even if you don't have a farm and you have a job and kids, we as humans just want to keep going. Yes. And homesteads help with that. You have to get it done. So you better get out and do it because nobody else is going to. Let's see. Hey, Todd. He's one of our new followers. You said you came from Broussard Homestead, right? That's pretty cool. They're our good friends. Mimsy said, I run them while I work. That's a good idea. I do that too. And I try to listen in the background and so I can pick up on the important parts. My mom said that's what I have to do when I get home from work. I have to keep moving or I'm done. Yeah, it's rough. Once you sit down, you're just done. Zach always says sometimes at night, I'm like, why don't you sit down? He said, if I sit down, I'm going to fall asleep. Okay, table full of the woods. That's fine. See you later. Sarah said, I work 12-hour midnights and homeschool the girls. I've had a hard time getting farm work done. I need to give grace to myself for sure. Absolutely. That's a big load on yourself. Hey, Two Wild Onions. Hey, Barber's Allotment. All right, so let me scroll back down to the bottom here. Hey, Alan. Hey, Garden for Cheap. Hey, Reap What You Sow. Have you seen the videos Yoga with Goats? It's so cute. I would love doing that. That would be fun. I've never done it, but I've seen a few people that have. My friend on here, Jennifer Jansen, I think she actually did it. She was telling me about it. That would be really cool. Maybe when we get our goats, we can make some goat yoga videos. If Zach hears that, he's going to be like, no. Pirate and the Lumberjack said, I'm great at procrastinating. Expert level. Same. But then I get so overwhelmed, so I try not to. Hesitant Homestead said there's a really cool Christian yoga girl on YouTube. I'll have to send you the link. Yes, please do. That would be awesome. I get so lost. I'll type in yoga, but it would be cool to have someone that you recommend. Yes, it's never done. Work is never done on a farm. Okay, so the third topic was lift your spirit, which I think is also really important. She's recording me. You say hi? Hi. You see her? Oh, careful. There you go. All right, so lift your spirit. And on the days that I do have trouble finding motivation, the very first thing I do is I turn on music. And that always gets me going. I'll turn it on my phone or put it on the TV. and it just automatically gets me up and going. And then I'll, get in the shower, get myself dressed and ready for the day. And by that time, I'm feeling good because the music is great, and it always helps. Sometimes I forget that. And then Zach's really big about that too. He always has music on his phone. If you know him, he loves music and he's always got it going. So he kind of reminds me with that too. And he'll say, put some music on your phone. And I'll,
Mommy, can I play with Wyatt Play-Doh?
Yeah, if you can get it. Can you get it? You have some in your room if you want to play with that you can reach. So I love to get music on, and it helps me get going and get excited and get pepped up and get some energy. Some other things are, I try not to use YouTube for motivation, but it is very motivational. There's so many things that can motivate you. Motivational skiing, or even homesteading videos that motivate me. And then once I see what other people are doing on their farm, it motivates me to get up and, start making some goals of my own and get stuff done, whether we need to build something or, get some of my plants done. That always helps. Have food first, permaculture, and hey, Alyssa. So that always helps. Sometimes reading. I love to read, but I'm not a big daytime reader. Some of that is because of the kids. It's, hard to open a book and dive into it when, they need you every few seconds. But a lot of that is, sometimes it makes me tired. So if I do read, I like to save that for nighttime. It's not too motivating for me. But my top two are music and other homesteading YouTube channels. They definitely motivate me to get off my bottom and get going. Let's see. So what motivates you all? Some of you have already said. Alyssa said yes to music. Being a stay-at-home mom, I know firsthand how easy it is to lose motivation. Music while cleaning seems to energize me and lighten the mood. Yes. When we are cleaning, we will get it on the speaker and blast it, and it really helps. I think I already said hi, food forest, but if I didn't, hello again. Music touches my soul, Garden for Cheap said. And I play YouTube cleaning videos in the background while I clean. That's a good idea. If you ever stop and start zoning out, just look at the TV and be like, okay, well, they're cleaning their house. Maybe I should keep going. That's a good idea. Twin Cedar said, yes, everyone on YouTube motivates us with our farm. It really does. Just when you see other people being busy on their farm, it really makes you want to get going. Yes, wife is in here. Oh, okay, cool. Doing a Bible study in the morning while getting ready and listening to some feel-good music. I need to start doing that more. I need to find like a devotional book. If y'all have any suggestions, maybe a devotional mom book. If y'all know of any, send them to me and I can get that going. That would be great. I'd really like for centered or homestead centered. Most of, 95% of my life is motherhood, momming. So that would be cool to relate to that. Okay, so the next point was celebrate success, which I think is very important. When you get those things done on your list, celebrate them. At the end of the day, don't think about the things that you didn't get done and celebrate what you did get done. And if everything isn't marked off, just simply scoot it to the next day's list and get it done then. Sometimes it can't all be done, but it is important to celebrate what you do get done. And I don't necessarily think that goes for the normal chores. I have stuff that has to get done, whether I want it to or not. I mean, like feeding animals and watering plants and stuff, all that stuff has to be done. And I don't really ever lose motivation for that stuff because I do love my animals and I love all my plants and all that. So I never really lose motivation for that. Hey there. Hey, it's a good life. Natalie. Hey, Natalie. And Liz. So mostly for the extra things, like the extra or the extra school stuff that Wyatt needs done, or, not necessarily the day-to-day, but the big things. And we don't have a lot of animals. We have chickens and ducks, and we're getting goats here within the next few weeks. So our list there isn't huge. I mean, really, they just need to be fed, watered, food, keep them happy, make sure they're safe and away from predators. So when we get more, that will add to the list. But like I said, I don't really struggle with that kind of thing because I do love them. I love taking care of them and making sure that they're happy. It's mostly the extra stuff. All right, let's see. So what do you all do to celebrate your success? Sometimes, I'll be honest, at the end of the day, if I just want to sit down and have a glass of wine and celebrate everything that we got done that day and, the big projects that we did, or even the little stuff that we got done, or, even if it was having a family night with our kids or playing with them or, whatever. It's rewarding to sit down and relax, let yourself wind down, and just be happy with yourself about the. Oh, our lights just flashed. That was weird. All right, let me scroll back up here. Oh, bless you, Raylan. She's playing with her Play-Doh. She's got her little buckets and stuff, having a good time. She loves Play-Doh. Spencer said you can even have friends and stuff and have plans like weekly plans. You get to choose the plan that works best for you. Yes. I don't really do any meetups with anyone here. I would like to, but it's just difficult and haven't really found the time. But it would be nice once we do start homeschooling Wyatt, which will be in the fall. I would really like to get involved in like a mom kind of co-op thing so that I can meet other people here. Right now, y'all are mostly the people that I talk to, and that's okay. But Alyssa's on here, and I would really like to start hanging out with her. We're a lot alike. Lists to help with accountability and a good way to celebrate success. Yes, absolutely. My goal on YouTube is to help save the planet Earth from maybe looking like Mars. This is motivation for myself. Absolutely. If you can, making a difference in the world or someone else's life is always motivation. Natalie said all the animals. I love all the animals. I want them all. Let's see. Have you thought of names? Like, are you going to do random names or sticks with things like flowers, gemstones? Are you talking about the goats? If you're talking about the goats, what we'll probably do is let the kids name them. They love to name stuff. Hey, Garden City Homestead. Micro Farm, we are only 2 hours away. I know it. I wish that we could really meet up, even if it's not a long week. Okay, so the last point. Oh, she said yes about naming the goats. Yeah, we'll probably just let the kids name them. They love to name stuff, and I kind of am not the best with that. I come up with weird stuff, so we'll probably let them do it. They are so excited. Wyatt doesn't believe me. He's like, "We're not getting goats. We're not getting goats." And I keep telling him, they're going to come, buddy. They're going to be here, and you're going to have to help me take care of them. And he will be so excited. And Raylan, she thinks they're sheep, but that's fine. She'll love to see the little babies. I think she will just be head over heels for them. Okay, so the last point is make a list, which I kind of talked about in the last one. Always making a list. I make lists for everything. Daily, the amount of thoughts that run through my head is insane. And I'll like try to make a mental list, like, because a lot of the time I think while I'm driving, if I'm going to pick up Wyatt or taking him to school or something or going to the grocery, that's when most of my thoughts come, most of my ideas. I don't know why it always happens in the car, but it does. So I can't grab my phone out and start making a list. So I try to make a mental list. And then when I stop, I will write it down. But the whole time I'm driving, I'm running that list through my head so I can try and memorize it. And then I'll write it down. But I make lists for everything. I make lists for cleaning, for meals, for, just simple to-do lists, what I need to get done. I make lists for homestead ideas, video ideas, music that I want to listen to. I mean, it's just constant ideas. So I try to always make lists. And my absolute favorite thing to do is cross something off of a list. It is so rewarding for me. It is really, really OCD that sometimes I'll cross them off and then I'll go back and add something. I'm like, no, we start in the morning. We make a list. I make it on my phone or on paper. And then we cross those things off when we're done. We're not going to add stuff throughout the day, because if it's not on that list in the morning, then it doesn't need to be added. So I try to get that done and try to do that. Don't always stick to it. Sometimes I'll get on my phone the next morning to make a list, and I see the list from the day before, and I might find something that I didn't get done, and it kind of lets me down, but then I'll just keep it on there so I can get it done today and try to cross all. So tell me if y'all are list makers. You probably already have, but and if you are, do y'all have any specific apps that you use for lists? I just use the notes on my iPhone. It's just the app that comes with it, and you just write it down, and then I'll just kind of erase it when I get done with it. So if y'all have any apps that are good for lists, let me know. Let's see. Ideas hit me in church. That's funny. They always hit me when I'm driving. I don't know why that is, but it drives me crazy because it's like the most vulnerable time, and then I forget everything. I keep a journal with me in church to write it down and get it out of my head. That's a good idea. What breed of goats are you thinking about getting? So I think what we want is Nubians, but we have a friend that we went to school with that breeds goats. So we're going to ask him if he has anything available, and we'll probably just kind of go with that. Hopefully he has Nubians. If not, that's fine. But we want to just support locally. So whatever he has available is probably what we'll go with. And then, we can try different breeds and maybe get a different one next time. Todd, hopefully that you asked the same thing. Regreen, Food Forest Permaculture said, regreen desert for another lung for the earth and retro suburbs so folks can look after themselves. This may be our only chance. Please be a great steward of our planet. Absolutely. I agree. Microfarm said, I have a huge chalkboard in my kitchen that I put all my things to get done that day. Actually, if you can see behind me, I have one up there, and I don't know why, but it's just being used for decoration. And I could do that. I could put that somewhere, first of all, where I can reach it, and then use that. Zach got that for me, I think, for something, and I never use it, but I need to. That's a good idea, though, because then you can see it right there. Linda says, I too am a list maker. Garden for Cheap, I do a mental list. I do those, but I'm not the best with those. My mom says I use a memo pad on Android, so probably the same thing as notes. It's just easy to pull up. Hey, Beach Family Homestead. Hey, Susie from Washington. Wow. Hey, Grace, Shayna. I'm something. I can't pronounce it. Just popping in for a few. Glad to have you here. Hesitant Homesteader says, Ben and I use Google so we can share our list. That's a good idea. That would be, me and Zach would share them. His list would probably be completely different than my list. Hey, Eyes to See Ministry. Good morning. Twin Cedar, have to get back to work, but have an awesome rest of the day. You too. Thank you for hopping on. Garden City Home says that I keep lists on my phone. There's an app called Color Note. Okay, I will check that out. I will try it. I got a dumb garden question. No question is dumb. Ask away. Hopefully I can answer. I'm not an expert, but I will try. Hey, through my kitchen window. Good morning from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Just started following you this week. Well, we are glad to have you. Nice to meet you. Okay, so those were all of the points. I'll go back over them again. Again, these were not from me. This was a blog post that celebrates success, and number 5 was make a list. So I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'm not really sure what the topic will be next time, but this was kind of cool to do it, my first solo live. A lot of times that I want to talk about just kind of like mom stuff, so it's fun to do it with just you guys. I haven't started plants from seeds in forever, and my tomato seedlings are stringy. Like leggy, is that what you mean? But yeah, are starting them inside, and are they near a window or able to get sunlight, or do you have grow lights? After time without those things, they get leggy. They're looking for that light, and they're wanting to be outside. I have had success, away from a window, but not for very long. I needed to get them out quickly. And you might already know all that. You probably do. Food Forest Permaculture said, Earth Day is April 22nd. Much love and respect. Flying back to my fiefdom. Okay. Yes, Earth Day, we will be celebrating. Our town does like a tree thing. We plant trees, and they encourage everybody to come out. So we will probably participate in that. If not, we'll do our own kind of thing, and we might plant our own trees because we're wanting to get some fruit trees. We're wanting to get apple trees and plant them on our land so that, 10, 15, 20 years from now, we won't have to say we wish we planted fruit trees. And y'all, Food for Us, y'all are actually kind of an inspiration for that because I love all of your fruit trees. It's amazing to just have a whole yard full. They're in my kitchen. Best advice I can give you is to transplant or I do the double cup method. I plant them into 2 cups, 2 solo cups, and you can transplant them into that. And then they need space to get their roots going. And then as soon as you can get them outside and, obviously not before a frost, but after a frost, hopefully that helped. Let me see. Yes, starting an orchard is brilliant. I would love it. I would absolutely love to just have our whole yard full of fruit trees. We can't grow too many here, but I know we can successfully do apples. So I want to get it done before I regret it later. Linda said, fun hopping on this morning. Great to hear from you. Keep up the great work with your farm and sweet family. You're doing a fabulous job. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Glad that you came on. Garden for cheap. Just transplant to the top leaves and the leggy stem will make it. There you go. Hopefully that's what I was trying to say. Hopefully that's what came across, but she got you back. I need to get my mayhaw planted in the next couple of days. I have so much to do, but
Mommy,
what, baby?
look. I picked a pie.
Oh, okay. Here, we'll fix it. Through my kitchen. Oh, they're talking to them. Plant a hillside orchard. That's what me and Zach have talked about. We want to line the driveway with some fruit trees. But then, if any of y'all know my father-in-law, he gets very frisky with the lawnmower, and I'm afraid that he will destroy them all. So we might just have to do them up here on top of the hill. Here, I can't get it back on. Can you fix this? Look at you. I wish I could see her. She's got her little safari vest on and her Spider-Man glove. Hey, Christy. Just me today, doing my first solo live. Grace Homestead Farm said cherries and hickory nut trees. Yes. None of us like cherries, but it would be cool. We could donate or whatever else. I'm sure we could find something to do with them. I forgot my tea was sitting here the whole time. It's probably cold now. So that was my thing for today, and I'm done with those points. Bye now. Have a good day. Questions or anything, throw them out. But if not, thanks so much for being here. This was fun, and hopefully we can make this a weekly thing or once every 2 weeks or something. Hopefully y'all weren't too bored with me. I thank you for coming. Pears also grow good in Kentucky. Yes, pears and apples. Our favorite place to go is Evans Apple Orchard. I don't know if y'all have been there. It's in Georgetown. So that would be kind of nice to obviously not be as big as them, but start our own kind of stuff so that we're not always buying apples in the fall. We buy so many. Let's see. Okay, so that would be a good field trip. It would. It's a lot of fun. They have a huge area for kids, pipe slides, and endless little play centers for kids, and it's a blast. They absolutely love it. Our kids love it, and you go into this barnyard area, and there's just so much to do. There's swings and barrel races and all kinds of stuff. So definitely check it out. So I thank y'all for being here. And I will go ahead and end it, and maybe we can try this again. Hopefully y'all enjoyed chatting. I definitely enjoyed chatting. I love getting to know y'all and just talking and getting to relate with others and just kind of be here with y'all. So thank you for coming, and I hope that y'all have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend. And we have got quite a few videos coming up this weekend, so ring the bell and stay tuned. All right, bye y'all. Have a good weekend.